Alright everybody, we are back with part 12 for Mafia 3 Definitive Edition here, and this is definitely going to be the main story finale. I'm not really sure how I'm going to play this part out just yet, because I don't know how long the final missions of this game actually are. I know there's like a lot of dialogue and cutscenes and stuff like that that follows, and even before. So we'll have to see. This could end up being a shorter part, because I might try to isolate the DLCs to their own parts, which means there will be basically 2 bonus parts after this. I know we did Faster Baby during the main game, because it kind of just takes place... It kind of takes place a little after you take out Richie Doucette, so that one makes sense during the events of the game. The other ones don't really feel like they fit during like Lincoln's whole crusade here, but they kind of can, because it still has those future interviews and stuff like that, even though it seems like those interviews kind of conclude when you finish the game, but they just fit very oddly. But the DLC, I thought the release order was Faster Baby, Sign of the Times, and then No Stone Unturned, but No Stone, or Stones Unturned I think is what it's called. Stones Unturned takes place before Sign of the Times, which actually kind of fits, because Sign of the Times does feel like a better conclusion overall to everything. But so we'll be doing Stones Unturned after this. But yep, we only have Sal Marcano left. We captured all of our districts here. I always like doing it this way, where we have like the 3 purple, the 3 green, and then in the center is all of Vito's stuff. I feel like that's like that one makes the most sense to me. Usually you can actually favor one underboss if you want to, and just give it all to one of them, or keep 2 of them alive and get rid of one of them. There's a bunch of different character endings with that. I just try to keep all 3 of them alive. I just prefer to do that, even though Vito's definitely the main dude I would give all of them to, given the choice, probably, because I'm just a Mafia 2 fan. But it's just Sal and his son Georgie left. Like I said, I'm not sure how long it's going to be, but we gotta talk to Donovan now. We also have to keep an eye out for 2 Vargas paintings when we're at the casino, because those 2 I think might be missable.
You're not wasting any time, are you?
Your little rampage is going to attract attention. Attention from people I don't care to associate with.
Yeah, imagine not.
Thankfully, closing off your loose ends is as simple as tossing around some super grade. With any luck, this will keep them off my ass. For a little while, anyway. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. There's still the matter of killing Georgie and Sal. You should get a kick out of hearing this.
Georgie, get your ass in here. Your Uncle Tommy's dead. I thought you'd like to know. He was a smart kid, your Uncle Tommy. He could have been anything. I tried to tell him, go to law school. Instead, he went to Cuba.
I'm sorry, Pops. And I know what he meant to you.
I am leveraged out the ass, called in every favor, and none of it made a goddamn difference. We're fucked. I am fucked.
Now that's bullshit. We still got some men. I say that we hit the streets and we find that cocksucker.
Every low-life ball of piss in this city smells blood in the water. My blood. You understand? And they step over their own mother. If it meant being the one that clipped me, I wouldn't last 10 minutes out there.
That's a crock of shit. You are the Sal Marcano. There's gotta be something that we could do.
Come here, boy. Come here. You call up whatever men we still have left. You tell them to meet us up there at the casino. And when Lincoln Clay shows up, we'll do everything we can to put that goddamn nigga in the ground right next to us. Go on now, get the fuck out of here.
Should have known that Marcano would go to ground at the casino.
You can take the bridge up there, so it's a straight shot.
You know, none of this would have happened without you.
It's either this or right away in some goddamn office. And once you've killed those assholes, you come and find me. I'll be hanging around over at the Padres.
You got it.
You give them hell, champ.
Alright, it's time. We gotta get to the casino now. They actually do play the song that the game opens with in this part, but I had to wait it out. But yeah, like I said, I'm not sure how long this part's gonna be. But it's our final battle. Alright, I'm kind of approaching it. Pretty sure it might change the time of day as we get closer. Yeah, there it goes. Oh, they actually forced it to rain in this part. I thought this part happened during the day. Yep, him and his dumb casino. Give you a very long stretch of road to drive down. I'm actually gonna mark the Vargas paintings and the timestamps for this part. Just for anybody who hasn't played the game, because like I said, I think these are the only 2 collectibles in the game that are missable. I don't think you can come back here. But I don't actually remember if you can. I don't remember if they let you drive out here post-story. I never actually came back out here post-story. Well, let's see how much of army he brought.
Got him! Over here! Gonna take more than you to hurt me! Switching out ammo!
It's taking a bit to shoulder swap.
Dropping like fucking flies!
I think the rest of these guys are above me besides this dude. You can see him.
Shit! He asked me. Fuck, I asked him. He's taking out the whole team.
Alright, that one's down. That sounded like it could have been a sniper. One of these dudes is outside.
There! Cut that sack of shit down. Fire it! Fire it now!
Well, he was outside, now he's dead. I think what I heard was right then. That was indeed a sniper. Whoa, what the hell? Where did these guys come from? Oh, he lived. Damn, we haven't seen that one yet. This is great, thanks game. Alright, I cleaned out the lobby this time. Now I'm gonna be prepared for the 5 dudes that just bust out right in front of us. That got us immediately killed. But yeah, we hadn't seen that one takedown where he pushes him into the wall and then stomps him. I think that was like the 2nd time we died on this playthrough, maybe the 3rd. But yeah, they just came out right next to me. This is actually going to be where the first Vargas painting is going to be. It actually kind of shows up on the
Let
radar.
the boys downstairs handle this. It's what they're getting paid for. I ain't come here to watch someone else do all the work. I came here to bury that cocksucker, just like we said. You be careful, yeah? I ain't the one you need to be worried about.
Georgie and Sal. It's weird that they have that equipment down here where you can hear them. We could actually get in that car and run these dudes over. But I'm not going to do that. We might be able to sneak through this area. You can kind of sneak through that first area. If it reloads, it actually makes it to where they don't know you're approaching. Alright, they're down. The other Vargas painting is out in this area too. I think it's behind the bar. Yeah, you can actually highlight it.
Huh?
Right, no more machine gun guy on this side. don't know if I can actually shoot through this.
What?
Goddamn gladly. Huh?
A lot of open area here.
Got a buck? As far as dare.
I actually did not get a takedown prompt on that dude. They're actually still searching though.
What? I'm busting over here. Someone took this boy out.
Alright, let's grab this Vargas painting now. And there we go. That is every collectible in the game. The other stuff, if you just wiretap the city areas, it'll point everything on your map. So in the wiretaps, you don't usually have to manually find. Once the mission, like your main story mission, becomes active in those areas, it'll reveal all the wiretaps. To get them early, though, you have to find them. Like, you have to get kind of close to them to see the marker. But
Let him run.
naturally, the game points you towards all that stuff. Oh, they're actually just staring at the wall together. Oh, it's Georgie. Can we actually get him with this? No, they don't let you. We can get him with this, though. Thought he was all safe up in his little room here.
You stupid motherfucker.
I always thought you were my friend. That you had me and Ellis's backs. It was just an act. You didn't kill me because I said no. You killed me because you thought you owned me. Owned all of us.
It was never about us. About my old man. My father. I'd do anything for him. Same as you and Sammy.
And you understand why I have to do this.
I know you think you're alone in this world, Lincoln, but you're not. And you never will be.
Dude, at first I thought it got stuck on another black screen, but it was still just loading. And just like that, though, Georgie is gone. It's no longer going to be a problem. Oh, you know what? I think we're already confronting Sal. I thought there was more fights in this part than I remembered, but I guess not. There he is. Just looking over the city.
Hell of a sight, ain't it? When I first come to this town, it was nothing more than a backwater shithole. Now look at it.
Let me see your hands.
Whatever was between us is over, you understand? It ended the second it was you coming up them stairs instead of my son. You want a drink?
All right.
I had this imported from Scotland. Single malt. Usually I'm a bourbon man, but I figured I'd order something with a little more class for when the casino opened. Not much of a chance of that happening now, is it?
Don't look that way.
Take a seat. I ain't going nowhere. Hey, not bad.
I think I still prefer Shine.
You know, a month or so after my brother Lucho died, I started having nightmares. I had this one where I was on a boat. Giant wave come, knocked my ass overboard. I hit that water and sink like a goddamn rock. And there was another one where cottonmouths biting me all to hell. But the one that really got to me was Georgie's funeral. He's laid out in that shitty little casket. Neck cut, same as Lucho's. Yeah, that one really got to me. It'll come around again every 3 or 4 days.
That one where I'm back in Nam, sleeping in a foxhole. All of a sudden, these dark figures come out of the shadows. I try to fight them off, but they hold me down, tie my hands together, stuff a muddy rag in my mouth so I can't scream, can't warn the men sleeping next to me. And then I gotta listen as all those men die.
I would imagine that's not gonna go away anytime soon.
No. I imagine it won't.
And then this. This was all to try to keep mine from coming true. Look how that turned out. I buried a lot of people. More than I can count. The one I never wanted to see go down in that cold ground was my son.
And yet here we are.
Yes, sir. Here we are. My son is dead, and I'm having a drink with his killer. Now, I'm not going to apologize for what I did, you understand? If I did, I'd just be lying. I don't have it in me to feel shame for the things I've done to others. Never have.
Didn't come here for an apology.
Nah. I know you didn't. Goddamn, I was right about you, wasn't I? I knew it the second I fucking saw you at the country club. Men like us, we're just wired up wrong. There's only one thing we know. One thing we're good at. I'm gonna be waiting for you, Lincoln Clay. This won't be the last time we see each other.
I know.
What are you waiting for?
Well, they're
Fucking
face
do
to
it.
face. If we're actually not quick enough
Finish
with
this,
this,
you
he
fucking coward.
does it himself. So let's get this ready. There he goes. I don't know if we can actually see him from here, because I don't know how close to the edge I can get. Lincoln, you're freaking me out. No, I don't really see him. But he is gone. We got our revenge. But yeah, if you're not, like I said, if you're not quick enough with that, he'll take himself out. And that doesn't really, I mean, I guess it's better for Lincoln to not get his hands dirty. I guess you can look at it that way, but I don't know. It's like we went through this whole entire thing and we just don't do anything to him. That was Lincoln's whole mission, was to take him out and take everything he had. And we succeeded.
take it you're Lincoln Clay.
So they tell me.
I told Sal this fucking casino would be the end of him. I meant it figuratively. This shit has a way of turning on you, doesn't it?
Especially if you piss off the wrong person.
You know who I am, son?
Guessing you're Leo Galante.
Let's take a little walk, you and me. Probably no surprise, but the rest of the commission wants you dead. You and anybody else that had anything to do with this.
What happened here was between me and Marcano.
Oh, I understand that, son. We all do. But this business makes you paranoid, irrational. They see Sally a pile of shit. They start wondering if someone's gonna serve them a plate of their own.
So you're here to decide if you're coming after me?
No. I'm here to deliver a message. You made your point, son. This all ends right here, right now.
I got no quarrel with y'all.
Once a month, Sal kicked up 20% of his net. Cash only. Same man's been delivering it for, I don't know, 20 years or so. I see no need in deviating from that, you?
No, sir.
In exchange, you run things as you see fit. Want to sell heroin? Want a whorehouse on every other corner? Makes no fucking difference to me. The only thing that matters is 20%.
And what if I decide to walk away? Leave all this behind?
Then this will be the last time we see each other. Best of luck to you, son.
There he was, the man himself, Leo Galante. So the person who lets him in and out of the car, that guy bears a striking resemblance to Joe Barbaro, which is Vito's friend, which they do hint at Vito's personal mission, where he's trying to get revenge for his friend Joe, who had apparently died. Lincoln does bring up the point, like, are you sure it was him? Because the body was, like, pretty mangled, so it was, like, unidentifiable, according to Vito. So Vito just assumed it was Joe because of everything that happened throughout that. The context is in that mission. But Leo did spare Vito and Mafia too, and it could be the case that Leo would also spare Joe, have him as like his personal guard now, because I mean he wears like the same style of winter clothes that Joe wears in Mafia 2. It's not like a long trench coat, but it's like the same type of hat. The guy's face looks very similar, he's just older. So the biggest theory is that is Joe Barbaro, which I also think that that's Joe. It would be more fitting for him to be alive still rather than killed off screen, and I think the devs kind of know that. But there we go. Our revenge is done. We gotta go talk to Donovan and Father James, apparently. And I think we get one more sit down as well. I can actually only walk at this part, so I don't know if it teleports me. Well, let's get to one of them. I'm pretty sure the father here just tries to convince us to leave. Leave it all behind. There's a reason, well, I'll hold off on saying anything, but let's go talk to him really quick. Yeah, I'm still stuck walking. I don't know if that's... Oh, wait, there we go. That kicked it into gear. Actually, there's no jog, though. But that's not really important right now.
Is he dead?
Yeah, he's dead. Him and Georgie both.
It's the best news I've heard in ages. Can we get an amen, Padre?
So what happens now?
What do you mean what happens now? It's over. Done. finish.
I ain't talking to you. Just cause Sal Marcano's dead, Lincoln, doesn't mean it's over. Now, what you did and the size of it all, you created a storm in this here city, and it's gonna take a long time for it to dissipate, if it ever does.
With Marcano dead, New Bordeaux belongs to me. Ain't nobody left to stand in my way.
You can't be serious. The point of this wasn't to replace Marcano, it was to remove him. This city's done gone through enough. It doesn't need another Sal Marcano.
This city? You've got to be fucking kidding me. This city is a cesspool. It's where people come to fuck and drink and get high.
You watch your filthy mouth.
It's what the city is, Padre. If it's not giving another Sal Marcano, it's gonna shit one out.
He's right. If it ain't gonna be me, it's gonna be somebody else. Probably somebody worse.
Amen.
Hey. You remember what you told me when you came back from the war? How you wanted to go to California, leave all this behind, and just start all over?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it ain't too late, Lincoln. You can still go. Go. And don't look back.
Listen, I'd love to stay here and debate the merits of one crime boss over another, but I've got a schedule to keep. Bit of advice, though. The scumbags you've been working with, kill them. All of them. Bury them before they bury you, buddy. I'll be seeing you, Padre.
God forgive me for standing by you through all this, Lincoln. But if you do anything except leave, we're finished. You hear?
Pop.
A man's soul can only carry so much. And mine is on the verge of breaking.
And that's when we're presented with our two choices. There's a Rolling Stones song that plays near the, well, pretty much throughout that cutscene. You'll probably hear some of the lyrics, because you have to use voice isolation to try and get all of that out. But sometimes the lyrics bleed through. But the father wants us to leave. Donovan wants us to kind of take over, or kind of agrees that we should take over, because Lincoln kind of wants to take over. There are multiple endings to this game. We're only going to get the one because it almost takes like a full... This part you can branch off of, but there are differences to it depending on who is your underbosses and stuff like that. So if you do want to know all of the different like underboss character endings and the other endings, there's a lot of videos out there for that now, but due to the playthrough, it requires a long playthrough to kind of set some of that up. So due to that, we're just going to go for our specific ending, which I usually go to the plantation house instead of leave town. So let's go meet up with our underbosses. Alright, we're pulling up now, though I do disagree with Donovan with one aspect of this. We'll see in a little bit here. Let me run up to the door so we're not just walking.
Sal and Georgie are gone. And after all the shit we've been through, we run this city.
No, that's the kind of news you never get tired of hearing.
After all the bullshit, it's almost impossible for me to wrap my brain around the fact that we actually did it. You're a fucking saint, Lincoln. And I'm honored to know you.
So we finally gonna get our chance to make things right in this town. Bring a balance to things. Wasn't certain we'd ever actually get here.
And this is where we get our final choice with this. Rule alone, I mean, Burke, we already did his side quest. We already know he's got a short time to live. I can't bring myself to harm Vito, and Cassandra does... She's a little crazy, but she does seem to want to do right by her people. And the place that she like owns, basically the Hollow. So I usually always go with rule together. So that's what we're gonna do this time.
We're not here because of what I did, or because of what any of y'all did. We're here because we stood together. And as long as we stay strong, ain't no one ever gonna fuck with us.
After he killed Sal Marcano, Lincoln Clay took over. But he wasn't content just to run the city. He expanded out across the South into Florida and even the Carolinas. There's so much money coming in, and he's been smart with it. He spreads it around, makes sure the right people get paid and stay paid. The city's favorite son, Yeah. Rebuilding the Hollow, buying up Frisco Field, reopening the theme park, all that money and goodwill. He thinks it's made him untouchable, but no one is untouchable. He might have plastered his name across a few schools and hospitals, made donations to a charity here and there, but nothing absolves him of his crimes. That's why I agreed to do this documentary. I want to shine a light on the real Lincoln Clay.
Lincoln gave in to everything. Drugs, booze, prostitutes, you name it. If it made $1, he was involved. Seeing him on the news, strutting around. Sometimes I think he should have died over at Sammy's with all the rest of them. There'd be kind of a peace in that. Turn it off! Nothing else to say about any of this.
There we go, that's how it ends. The father kind of has a breakdown at the end there. There might be some stuff after the credits, so I always try to include that, but that's usually my favorite ending. Lincoln and Vito, Cassandra, and Burke, they all kind of run things, they expand out. I mean, the game, it's a Mafia game, so you'd think it'd have something to do with the Mafia, so that's always the ending I kind of went with. Leaving everything behind also kind of, it kind of fits Lincoln's character as well, so that's also a choice. It usually fits his character early on, though, like what his train of thought is before everything happens with Sammy. Because Lincoln was actually planning on only visiting them and then going his own way. Like the father said, he was going to go to California. So he was intending to leave, is what I'm trying to say. But there is, like I said, the DLCs in this game. Faster Baby can just fit any time after Richie Doucette's death. But No Stone Unturned, or Stones Unturned, I keep calling it No Stone Unturned because I don't know why. But and Sign of the Times, those DLCs don't feel like they really fit anywhere in the game. They don't really seem to fit during or after the events of the game, because there's just always those inconsistencies with how it is. Because like I said, you also still get the documentary stuff, like those documentary cutscenes, which McGuire, he is not able to catch Lincoln because Lincoln's kind of protected by the people of New Bordeaux and stuff like that as well, because he is actually helping them with the money he's bringing in. But the DLCs kind of conflict with certain things. Like the father said he'd be done with us if we chose to stay and rule, which, I mean, if you do Sign of the Times afterward, you talk to the father and you go on adventures with him, well, for a little bit.
Let me ask you something. Senator! Where were you when John Fitzgerald Kennedy was assassinated?
I don't remember. At home, I believe.
I don't remember. At home, I believe. Let me tell you where I was. A muddy hut in Vietnam. Slowly dismembering an old woman. cutting her apart bit by bit. And do you know why? Because her son was an NVA officer. And hurting her was the only way to make him talk.
I don't understand what this has to do.
What he told us saved the lives of an entire platoon. That's 42 men. Men that lived another day because I was willing to take a saw to that old woman.
Thank you, Mr. Donovan. I believe that.
Sit down and shut the fuck up! I did a lot of terrible shit over there. In the name of this country. Shit that will haunt me for the rest of my life. But I did it because I believed in the fight. I believed what this nation stood for. So, to be sitting there ass deep in mud with that old woman scattered all around me, and hearing that the President of the United States had just been fucking murdered, well, I knew right then and there that I couldn't let that stand. That I would find a way to make it right no matter how long it took.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that Sal Marcano and a group of conspirators murdered Jack Kennedy.
Oh, that is the most absurd thing I have ever heard.
I assumed you would say that. Don't fucking move!
This... You're out of your mind.
Oh, I don't hold anyone's ambitions against them, Senator. And you certainly were ambitious, weren't you? You went to law school, and then you became a district attorney, and then United States Senate. After Sal Marcano died, I went through his files. Imagine my surprise when I saw your name over and over and over and over again. The mob wanted Jack Kennedy dead, and you were more than willing to help.
There are cameras everywhere. There's witnesses.
No, I want
You'll
them
never
to
get
see
away
this,
with
you
this.
stupid assholes, because then they will know that I am not finishing with you. I am starting with you. Oh! Oh, and they're next. Gentlemen, God!
There's the post-credit scene. Donovan also starts going on his own little crusade when he finds out that whole conspiracy with Jack Kennedy. I don't know how he gets out of that building. You'd think they'd have law around. But yeah, as I was saying, the DLC for Sign of the Times, it doesn't really make sense no matter your choice, whether you stay or leave. And it doesn't really make sense at all during the main story because you rebuild Sammy's in that DLC. It's not really a spoiler because that's not entirely what the DLC is about. There's like a whole cult thing that happens in that DLC, but it just doesn't fit during the main game. It doesn't fit after the main game. I usually just end with it because it feels like a nice little bow tie at the end of the whole entire game. Like everything wraps up essentially. But no stone unturned or stones unturned. That also feels weird during the main game because you go on like this whole mission with Donovan. So I usually do that after the main game as well. So even though this is the main game story finale, we're not done yet. We'll have 2 bonus parts that cover those DLCs. I'm going to try to isolate them to 1 part each. So the DLC parts could be a little long because the bounty hunts can take a little bit of time in Stones Unturned. And the stories are actually a decent length on there. They're longer than Faster Baby was. And then for the Sign of the Times, I might just cut through rebuilding the whole bar and then maybe go to the missions, because I think as you're rebuilding it, you get like side missions to do. We'll have to see how that goes. But that'll do it for Mafia 3. This will probably be a shorter part. It might be under an hour. I don't know about how long, because I have to wait some music out sometimes, and that's like usually 2 to 3 minutes. And they have a lot of songs near the end of the game. I'm going to try my best to isolate those out so that we don't have any problems, and also keep the voices in and stuff like that. But like I said, you probably hear the lyrics bleed through sometimes. I can't really do anything about that. It is what it is. But yeah, it's a fun game. It's enjoyable. The game does it's a little rough when you're doing side activities because it will send you around all the time, all over the place, constantly. Like when you're resupplying things and stuff like that, you're all over the city. And this game doesn't have a fast travel system, like I've mentioned. But the gunplay and like sneaking around and taking stuff down, I always enjoyed that aspect of it. Like I said, the game kind of makes you feel like the Punisher, but you're also doing some mob stuff in the background, so not exactly. You just feel like an unstoppable badass sometimes, and those are the aspects that I've always enjoyed. But like I said, you can side with 2 of the underbosses, 1 of them, or all 3 of them, and each of them have their own ending. All 3 of them is kind of the ending where you kind of run things and branch off and like take over other regions, like expanding to Florida and stuff like that. And then each character ending, they kind of do their own operation and stuff like that. But like I said, there's probably videos out there that compile all of the possible endings. This is just the one I usually go for when I play this game, which I think this might be my 4th playthrough of Mafia 3 now, because I've done my own personal series runs in the past. But this is the first time we were able to cover it on the channel, and I'm glad we were able to, because like I said, I don't think it's a bad game in any way. It does have some technical issues still, like getting stuck on load screens and characters not being where they should, having you to reload checkpoints and stuff like that. There's visual oddities like flickering shadows kind of being weird and other things like that. There's even texture glitches that pop up for like a split second, but nothing too crazy. The game's actually playable. I actually haven't had any crashes on this playthrough. The game used to crash a lot back when it first came out, but they did stabilize it at the very least. But yeah, like I said, we're going to do the DLC still. We're not done with this game yet, so keep an eye out for those. And up next, I don't know what we're going to do. I've always intended to do Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, where we go after all of the collectibles and stuff in that as well, and I've been sitting on that for a bit myself. But we also might play Legacy of Kain Defiance Remastered, because I did do Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remastered. I did do all of the achievements in that one. I even timestamp them for how to get them. With Defiance Remastered, there's a lot of accumulative ones, so that is not probably going to be as consistent, because I think I only pointed out the accumulative ones in Soul Reaver 1 and 2, where you have to kill an enemy like a specific way a certain amount of times and stuff like that. There's a lot of those in Defiance Remastered from what I saw, but those might be the next things. There is still God of War Ghost of Sparta that I wanted to check out, but I don't know if we're going to do that right away. But we'll have to see. I'm still live streaming through Death Stranding for the live streams. I'm actually going to be starting 2 as of this recording. But yeah, that's what we have really going on right now. But as always, thanks for joining me on this one. I always appreciate it. Thanks to everybody who checked it out as it went live or after it went live. Like I said, I appreciate it. And I'll see you in the bonus parts or the next game.